Welcome to the crypto collective market update. I just wanted to give you guys a quick video just to explain what's happening with Bitcoin at the moment and what to watch out for. So this is the 4-hour chart right now with Bitcoin, and maybe some of you guys are new. So if you're new, I'll just give a really quick explanation. If you're a member of our Discord, you have the pattern mastery section on the bottom left. So this is what's called a bull flag pattern. So basically the price goes straight upwards and it starts to zigzag between these two lines, and then you see it like come above it, and usually it bounces, it starts to increase in value again from this bottom area, and then we see it continue upwards. So looking at Bitcoin, if you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks, we came up to 41,000, 40,000. And then we started to, zigzag a bit, just like this pattern. So we have the straight run upwards. We start to zigzag between the two lines. And then we had this breakout here. Now, it's important to note as well, most people know this already, but, Tesla purchased $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. I can't remember the exact price. I think it was somewhere around here at 32,000 or 33,000. I could be wrong, but yeah, somewhere around there. As you can see, after that's happened, the price has kind of skyrocketed up. So now we've just tapped 48,900. We nearly hit 50,000 already. So what can happen now? Well, as you can see, let's zoom in a bit. This is a 15-minute chart. Now, if you're new, I don't really recommend trying to trade off the 15-minute chart, but when Bitcoin, it's in price discovery, and that basically means right now we don't have much historical data to work with. So the price is just floating up here, whereas before it was down here, and we have a lot of areas where we can see the price have reversals from. So up here, it's like kind of new territory, so to speak. So we had this pattern here, which is called a bump and run bottom, as you can see. Now I'll just pull up an image that explains it. So this is a bump and run bottom. As you can see, it's got this little kind of circular shape, and then it comes around and it makes another kind of hook shape. And then the price breaks through this area, and sometimes it comes back and then it has a strong movement from there. That's the bump and run bottom. So as you can see, we had this pattern here on the 15-minute on Bitcoin. It broke out as expected. We come back down to this area here, which is the trend line of the bump and run bottom. So just in the short term, just looking at this pattern simply, if Bitcoin falls under here right now, we have the chance of the price to actually come down again. And then, I think the important area to watch in the short term, if that happens, is going to be 44,950 or so. Because you can see here, we had some movements from there. We also have a kind of area here as well. We can mark on our chart. Now I'll just run you over this as well. This is called a demand cluster. So this is a demand cluster. As you can see, it's basically a tiny little square block, and then we have an increase in value from there. And a lot of the time when the price comes back to this area, we see it increase again. So that's a demand cluster. So as you can see here, we have this little demand cluster as well. So if this bump and run bottom, which is on the 15-minute, fails, it goes under like 46,500 or so. We have a likelihood of Bitcoin coming down to try and test this 44,950 area as support. If we lose that, then this is the next area. And, if we lose that, then we're probably going to be coming back to, I'll just clear my chart. So this is the 4-hour time frame again. So yeah, if we lose those areas here and here, we're we probably have a high chance we're actually going to come back down to here. And that would make sense to me as well, because when you have such a high profile purchase of Bitcoin, you get a lot of people that come in late to the game. They're trying to catch up and buy Bitcoin. So they're all chasing this. It's already made a huge move and they're all chasing it. So when you have all these new people come in, it creates a kind of environment where the bigger players, they want to buy in too. And they don't want to buy up here near 50,000. They think, nah, that's, it's not worth it. So they can throw in a few sell orders here and they can make all these new people panic. And that brings the possibility of the price coming all the way back down to this area. I'm not saying it's a guarantee or anything, but just something to watch out for if you are trading Bitcoin, And, you can see here we bounce from here. If we lose this area, then, it's going to be a nice buy in, I think, down here around 38,000 to 40,000. You don't want to like buy everything at once. What I do is every time it goes up a bit, I sell a little bit. And, as it continues to go up, I keep selling. And then after we have a big drop, I do the opposite. I start to buy in as it's dropping. So eventually you get an average price instead of trying to buy your whole amount at once, and it might become a bit stressful. So yeah, let's go back to the bull flag image. So as you can see, point B on this image, the price comes back to B before it actually continues up. So, we kind of had a point B here. It wasn't perfect, but we could still potentially come back to that area for another one. So be wary of that. We also have this area here. Now, before I showed you, we had this demand cluster. This is the opposite. This is a supply cluster. So we have these little blocks here, and then we see the price has come down from there. So those areas, when the price comes back, it can also go in the opposite direction from there. So just some stuff to watch out for. If you want to learn more about this stuff, then you can join our Discord server. I'm going to post a link in the description after this video. There's some of this information is free. Some of it is in the paid side of our server, but we offer free 2 weeks membership. There's no credit cards or anything like that. Otherwise, you can go down, you can join the server, you can go down to the bottom, pattern mastery, go to intro, and you have a few free images here that you can download that are going to teach you some introduction concepts to learn about technical analysis, which is reading charts. So yeah, that's just the overview for Bitcoin. I could be wrong. Maybe we don't come down now. If we head above 48,200 again, then, the chances are we're just going to keep grinding up. And, we have all these areas I've marked, and this is what is called the Fibonacci tool. So the Fibonacci retracement. And we measure the top area to the most recent bottom area. And then that gives us all these different measurement areas. So we can use them as places to start selling when the price gets up there. So we're not just guessing, we're trying to look at important areas that other people may be looking at as well. If we do come back down to the bull flag and we lose this area, which is like around 35,000, then Bitcoin could be heading down further. But considering Tesla just brought $1.5 billion worth, I don't see that as a likelihood. I think it's just a matter of time, guys. Well, before we see other large companies like Apple or Google, etc., also adopting Bitcoin as the demand from the consumer increases. All right, so I'm just going to go over as well, just quickly. We have the Bitcoin dominance. So the Bitcoin dominance, if you don't know what it is, now let's look at the market as a percentage, right? So if the whole crypto market is a percentage, it's 100%. We're looking at the Bitcoin dominance. So right now it's at 62.15. So if the whole market is 100%, Bitcoin is 62 0.15% of the market right now. So this is a tool for us to measure how much of the market Bitcoin actually controls. So when this Bitcoin dominance, it starts to go up, it's actually a sign that a lot of money is going into Bitcoin, and it's could be having a very major move, a large increase or decrease. So if you see the Bitcoin dominance going up, it can be a potential warning sign that your altcoins are actually going to go down. So at the current moment in time, so you can see this is the back to the 15-minute time frame. So you can see back up here at 64.5%. We have this. It's what we call a double top. So the double top, it's where the price makes like a almost like the letter M, and then we see it come underneath this area, and then we have a rejection from here, and it comes down again. So on the Bitcoin dominance, we saw this pattern play out, and from there on, in that moment, most of the altcoins, they started to have massive increases. Like we've had a few different ones I've called have increased, like BAT's basic attention token, BNB, Atom, SXP. You know, altcoins are popping off everywhere. ADA popped off as well. I didn't mention that one, but it's been doing quite well. So that all started when the Bitcoin dominance actually came down under this area. So I've got this on my chart, the 64.5% kind of area. And if you're on TradingView, if you don't have a TradingView account, you're new to this and you want to look at some charts, I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can sign up to TradingView for free. It's free to use, but if you want to get the advanced TradingView where you have like a lot of alerts. So basically, I've got this line here. I can press Alt and H. It's going to give me a line. I can right click it. I can add an alert on it. I can give it a name like Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance breaking out. And I can put it down here at this important area. So if the Bitcoin dominance goes up there, it's going to give me an email and a notification just to let me know. So when that happens, I know that there's a chance that most of the altcoins that are crossed with Bitcoin, because for example, you have ADA US dollar, and then you have ADA Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin has really big moves, the ones that are matched with Bitcoin tend to go down. So you can set your alerts on this. I'm going to put another one here on 62.8 BTCD warning. You can send yourself an email or SMS. They've got a few different options here. Send email to SMS. I won't put that in on the screen. And you can get notified, you know, on your phone or whatever when these important things are happening. So right now, if the Bitcoin dominance stays under 62.8%, as well as 60, if it stays under in the short term, 62.8%, altcoins are probably going to do pretty well. If it gets above there, they're going to take a bit of a hit, I think. And if they get above this upper area around 64.5%, then it might be a good idea to start to manage some of your risk and not be overextended. What I mean by overextended is not have too many positions in altcoins. You want to have definitely a majority of Bitcoin if it's about to go up. Now, one more thing I'm going to go over just for you guys. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an explanation. This is a call I made recently in the Discord. So if you come in our Discord and you want to organize things and make it easier to view, you can click up here, right click up here at the top and click mark as read. That's actually going to mark all the channels as that you've read the messages, and then you can close the drop down menus. And then you're going to have something much easier to look at. And as people type in each channel, you're going to get notified and you can just click on the channel to see the new messages. So when you go into our server, the education section is at the bottom. Depending on if you're a paid member or a free member, you might be able to see some of it or You can, if you're free, you can see some images. If you're paid, you get full access to all of them. Most of the basic stuff and the important stuff like support and resistance, I've just put there for all you guys to have for free and to share around. And the pattern mastery, we have my pattern cheat sheet. So download these and they have a lot of information about the different patterns. So one thing I use quite a lot is the Wyckoff reaccumulation range and the Wyckoff accumulation range. So I'm just going to open this in another image. So this is what is referred to as a Wyckoff accumulation. Now, the line is like a graphic representation of the price, and this is a what's called a trend line. So just ignore this diagonal line for now. It's not really important. And these two parallel lines, they're just drawn there. The squiggly line in the background is the price. That's what we're looking at. So you can see the price comes down like a very strong movement, and it kind of bounces here and it ticks up, and it quickly has another down movement. And then here we start to, this is what is called almost a consolidation as well as an accumulation, because it starts to move sideways and it forms these two channels. And basically this pattern, it's a sign that there's a big buyer trying to trick the small guys into selling out their position into his massive buy order. And the way he does that is he forms this, this is a slightly different example. Let's have a look at BAT. So here's an example, you know, we form this kind of range and eventually we break out to the upside and then we have a continuation up. So there's a big buyer usually at the bottom of all this. You know, the small guys are getting in here, you know, they're trying to buy in and they got their stop losses under here, and the big guys are trying to trigger these stop losses to fill their massive buy order, and then the price can reverse from there. So in this particular example, I'll just find the correct image. Here we go. This is called, this is Wyckoff free accumulation schematic 1. You can see the price makes a double top, just like I showed you before. And then we come down with a strong movement. We bounce there, we come back up. We have a rejection there. That's called the AR zone. We come back and we form almost a double bottom or a spring here. And then we come back up, we touch this area, we come down from there again. And then we see the price kind of drag out sideways for some time before we have one final bounce. Another, it looks similar to like a double top, but it's the opposite. It's a little double bottom. And then we start to have a really strong movement from there. So the way I identified this on basic attention token basically is, first I see we have a strong movement coming into this pattern. Second, you see we make this double top straight away. You can also see we have this little square kind of demand cluster like I explained to you before. So the double top is formed with a demand cluster at the beginning. So the demand cluster kind of traps the traders who get long here. And as this candle here triggers their stop losses, we have a massive downward spike. And then here we have the support creation, which is the SC. This is where the big guys start to buy in, right? They start to buy in down here. Now, before I showed you on Bitcoin, I showed you the bull flag pattern, like so. Now we have the opposite, which is the bear flag, like so. So it's pretty common for these bear flags, like you can see here. This is the flag pole. So we use this, and that's meant to give us a measurement. So we have this loss of support, right? All the long traders have their stop losses triggered. The buyers get in. We have a bear flag. The short traders, they get short here. They think it's going to head further. And the big guys, they have another buy order waiting here. These short guys get taken out. To get out of their short, they have to buy in, which is what we see here. And then the stop losses can get taken out. And then eventually the price comes back above this first AR area. So you can see we had the support creation, bang, we had the AR. We come back for the support test, which is ST. As you can see here, we have local SC, support creation, and then we have ST area, and then we have the price kind of drag out sideways. So we have SC, we come up, we have ST, and then we kind of drag out sideways, and then we have the final jump across the creek into the LPS. We have the jump across the creek, and then we have the LPS phase here before continuing up. So that's the Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic. Just bring up the image. So this was called, I'll show you guys the original post. I got a lot of posts, guys, you know. Here we go. So you can see this was one of my original charts for the basic attention token. And here we go. It's just up here. So this was the original chart. So by understanding these Wyckoff ranges, Wyckoff reaccumulations, it gives you kind of a trading plan, and it gives you an opportunity to get in on the market way before everyone else. So as you can see, I got in down here. My buy order was, I think it was over here or somewhere. I ended up selling my, I was going to hold my basic attention token to 1600. I ended up, I think I had a stop loss here and I got taken out maybe 80% of my position here, and the rest I'm just still holding. And I think it's going to go from here. We've got another bull flag pattern, as you can see, up to here to target 1. And that's all started with this small Wyckoff reaccumulation that I identified. One more example is Atom BTC. It looks quite identical to basic attention token at the moment. So this is a different Wyckoff reaccumulation. This one I like to call the spring. Now, I didn't make these concepts up myself, guys. I did a course on the internet that taught me them. The Wyckoff course, it's got the credit to the guy at the bottom, Roman Bogmazov. Now, it's quite an expensive course, and it's definitely not for beginners. So if you're new, maybe you want to learn the basics first. If you want a beginner's introduction to Wyckoff and to understand it in a simple way, then watch to the end of the video. It's only going to go for about another 10 minutes or so. And I'm going to give you guys some information about the one of the courses we have coming up, where me and one of the other traders in the crypto collective, Kyle, he's the co-founder with me. We're actually going to be going over the different Wyckoff ranges in this boot camp. So if you want to get an understanding of this, the information will be at the end of the video. So this is called the Wyckoff Spring. You can see we form this kind of range. We have the BC, the AR, and then we have the ST area. We come up and we tap this resistance, and then we come back down. And just like in the other pattern I showed you, the buyers are here. They have their stop losses here. We trigger them with the spring, and then we see the price come in. We see this kind of double bottom, and we continue going up. So this is Atom BTC. I'll just bring up the call as well. Here we go. So this was on yesterday at 1:40 a.m. I said Cosmos Atom Wyckoff reaccumulation. The price was, I'll just open it up. Price was 3,194 Satoshis. So I just marked that with this line here. We can use the replay tool as well. All right. So we were roughly around here, you know. So this is Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic. The spring schematic, we come straight upwards beforehand. At the end of the straight upwards move, we kind of have the price come back down. It forms what looks like basically a bull flag pattern. The bull flag breaks out. It's quickly rejected after making another high. It comes back down to that area. That is the support area, which is the ST area. Also, before we form this second high, we have the shakeout, which is usually where you have like a large wick. This is a wick, you know, this thin kind of part. Basically, that means down here, a lot of people were selling. They were wrong in the short term. The price come back up. So this wick means the price was once down here. It used to look like this with the red candle. It was down here, but it quickly went the other way. So all the people down here, they got trapped. So that's one of the main characteristics of this Wyckoff spring. Is you can see here is the shakeout area next to the PSY. The PSY is a little kind of square, almost like a demand cluster, what I showed you before. We have the PSY either here or here, a little square area. We have the shakeout, which is very important. We form a high. Then we have like the ST area, which where price just keeps touching it like this. And we lose the support. The price comes under here. People start to panic because it's underneath this important area. But you can see it's formed like, it looks similar to a double bottom. You know, this is a double top. This is a double bottom. So it looks similar to a double bottom. And that is the spring. As you can see down here, it's the spring. And then we jump across the creek to the LPS phase. So this is the spring. We jump across to the LPS phase. And then we see we see the increase in value from there. I'll just skip it through. So yeah, as you can see on Atom BTC, this small pattern, this was on the 5-minute chart, was the beginning of this massive move because big players and big buyers, they need to find orders to fill up their liquidity. They can't just buy; they need to trick people into buying and selling into their buys. So if you can learn to identify these guys, it can be highly profitable. I'm going to show you one last one just to finish up. So as you can see here on SXP, now this wasn't like a perfect example, but it looked similar. So I still took the trade. So as you can see, we had a straight run upwards. We had a little block area. We came back. We rejected from there. We put in another high, and then we started to tap against this area. Now, the difference on this one was we actually went upwards first, and then we came down to this area. So my theory behind that is that there was just too much excitement over SXP. Whoever was trying to accumulate SXP here, it started moving before they could finish buying. So at this point, they threw in a massive sell and they reversed the price. And as you can see, we have that kind of double bottom here, and that was the spring phase. The spring phase just here before the launch on SXP. So I called it down here, I think, had a 33% run. I've got the chart. Here's the chart just here, SXP. Yesterday, 1:40 a.m. Wyckoff reaccumulation, SXP, BTC. So this is a chart, as you can see. I called it right here at the bottom of this spring. So if you guys want to learn this Wyckoff theory and you want to get a basic understanding of it, as well as other techniques to read the charts and make predictions like this, we've got the trading education boot camp coming up. It's the 20th to the 21st of this month. I don't know if you're watching this video if you've been following some of my posts, but we've come together with four different people actually. So we've got myself, I'm going to be teaching, we're going to be splitting it between 3 different people. It's going to go for about, I've got the information here. It's going to go 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day for 2 days, 20th to 21st of February. It's going to be $1,000 in Australian dollars course. And we're going to have myself. I don't know if you know Trader Travis. I'm going to pull up his group just quickly. So Trader Travis from the Crypto Mastermind. So Trader Travis, he's part of our team as well. He makes some really good insights and suggestions. So he's going to be covering some of the educational material. We've also got myself. I'm going to be covering some of the Wyckoff theory, as well as some of my other knowledge like market cycles, candlesticks, and chart patterns like some of the ones I just showed you. And we've also got Kyle, Trader Dax, who runs the market mastery side of the course, and he's going to be running over risk management, trading psychology, order blocks, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a live, we're going to be teaching live. So it's not going to be like you pay and you download and it's this, you know, the material is just there. It's going to be a live course. You can ask questions. We're going to show you stuff live so you can get a better understanding of it. So I'll put the link if anyone wants to sign up in the description as well. We've got I think 30 places in the course, or 25. We've nearly sold out. We've got about 5 or 10 left. So if you guys are interested, then now is the time to get in. So I hope this video gave you guys some insights and you learned a lot. If you appreciate the information, then make sure you like and follow the YouTube channel and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks a lot.